So my name is Stefan. I'm a Croatian Canadian. I've been going to the ZSHEM undergrad study program before we both applied for the double degree with Louis Business School. And yeah, the reason we're keeping this interview in English is the school, and we decided that it'll be more usable, especially like in Italy where we shot the film. Croatian might not be the best choice. And
Hi everyone, my name is Marin. I'm also a ZSHEM student. I've been here in ZSHEM since 2014. I finished my bachelor degree in ZSHEM and then went to Rome to finish the double degree in international management. And all this program, I've been with Stefan. We always share some ideas, and that's how we can say we started our journey into the movies.
Got you. Good question. So I think we've both been, from what we've talked to with each other, kind of artistically inclined. Where I was musically involved since childhood. I started being active in photography like 10 years ago, and at one point, I had a little job where I was translating books from Croatian authors to English. And I was reading a lot, and I thought, I have good ideas. Why shouldn't I write something? Then I wrote my first novel, which I'm trying to get published right now. And then I was getting a lot of feedback, like your dialogue is really good. You write really good dialogue. So then I've always been a movie freak. I'd watch like 3 movies a day in high school, and then I wrote my first script, and with the Kino Club in Split. They liked it. We shot the movie. And then the president of Kino Club, Sunčica, she hooked me up with Ado Hasanovic, which is he is a critically acclaimed director. He loved my script and he loved the movie we did before. And then we started this. And I needed actors. I said, hey, Marin, I need another actor.
As we always shared our ideas, we've been always supporting each other. So I said, listen, if you need an actor, I'm here. I could say I was this lost person, a gangster, who is at the end of the movie going to the church in order to confess his sins. So because of the budget, we had to decrease the amount of material then. So my part on the movie was actually more artistic than active. I've not been talking with the other actors, and it's something interesting.
So I had written like 60 pages of this project, which I wanted to shoot over multiple weekends. But at the insistence of producers, we needed to make it festival friendly. So I had to cut it down. There were a lot of painful cuts. If you write something and you're like cutting it up, it's never going to be filmed. So we got down to like 16 pages, because festivals like 15-minute maximum shorts, because no one's going to play your 40-minute short if they can have 3 15-minute shorts. It just makes no sense. So then, it was originally supposed to, we were using a setting of Rome with a lot of churches and stuff, and I wanted to create a story that would take advantage of that. So we were following 3 people that were, this was the original script, right, that are various types of quote-unquote sinners, criminals, and then we kind of stick with one storyline, which was of a girl, a lost girl, kind of struggling with psychosis on her own in Rome, and trying to get better. And then we follow her through a series of confessions with a priest, flashbacks we use to tell the story. And I also wanted to do something interesting. A lot of movies, if you watch like Scorsese stuff or anything that's church inspired, the priest is just used as a device. So I thought, what if we stay with the priest? Like, what's his daily routine? Where's he going after this confession? Like, what's his life like? So we followed him, we followed her. In the end, the priest was kind of the main character, which was a great actor, Daniela Vitolo. we used in Italy, and he just did a great job, like super unorthodox, crazy priest trying to really reach out and help this girl. I'm not going to spoil the ending. So I think the important thing is to be curious. So you spend a lot of time researching. Obviously, from photography, I knew a lot about lenses, and that's how I got my director of photography on board, Leonardo Kurz, a really brilliant, talented cinematographer who worked on big budget movies like The Traitor on Netflix. And I approached him. I said, "Listen, I want to use this. I want to use crazy anamorphic lenses. I want to use infrared cinematography for the flashbacks, like super experimental." And he said, "I just bought a bunch of infrared cinematography gear. I thought I was the only crazy guy that wanted to use this. It's meant to be. Let's do it." So then, with the help of a really great crew, we had people like Paolo Sorrentino's camera guy lend us equipment, give advice to my DP on how to shoot. We had a team that was about a dozen members. So, you have to get these people, you have to move them all around the city. A lot of this is guerrilla shooting. You're working on a limited budget. We had a budget maybe with post involved, like 7,000 euros, which is respectable. But we shot as though we had a 40,000 euro budget based on the equipment we were using. So, we had a dolly, we had a steady cam, we had all this crazy stuff, which is you'll see from the comedy I did last summer in Split, just with basic equipment, like what kind of jump in quality it is when you're working with a team that knows what they're doing. So the people were very professional. At the end of the day, as the director, you have to kind of make sure everything's running smooth. You go on set, things aren't working. Maybe the battery's out, or it starts raining, so now we can't film on the bank of the Tiber River. Now we have to change this. Now we're driving in a car. I'm in the back seat with the actors, and my DP says, "You need to cut this page. We can't film this. What can you cut out?" So we're like last minute. I'm writing new stuff, taking out old stuff. The actors have 15 minutes to learn this, so things will go wrong, and you have to be comfortable with that.
Relaxed, because I used to do this kind of things back in Angola. We never made public. It was just for fun between some friends. They had some material. We used to do comedy, and I used to be good at it. I had some invitations for some Angolan series, but at the time I was very shy. Yes, I finished. When I finished high school in Angola, I wanted to do university abroad. This was my plan. And thanks to my father and some contacts, we somehow found Zeshem, have a great review about Zeshem, and why not? I decided to come. I stayed. I enjoyed that. What can I say is everything I have today is thanks to this education. Even if you see, it's so funny. Even this film that we made, we came there with no idea that will be something big like this.
So I remember that when you're gonna walk on the red carpet together with the
yeah. So this connection, this opportunity to study abroad with Zeshem, I think it's one of the greatest experiences for me and for Stefan as well.
Well,
I would say doing school and the film at the same time.
Okay,
We had so many.
It was time management.
Time management, yes.
For me, I completely prioritized the film, so that I wasn't really stressed about that. But I think the most stressful part was you needed things to happen now. I think we're the only film shooting within a church in that time period in Rome, because we kind of managed to, through some kind of connection, get to some priest that would let us do it. And we had to we made a little donation. So the movie looks big budget because short films don't get permission to film within churches. So that was just kind of it's Thursday, we're shooting on Saturday, we don't have the location confirmed yet. So just kind of handling all these things as they arise was the biggest challenge. And at the same time, making sure that the artistic vision isn't changed, because if you need a night scene, a morning scene, it doesn't work with the script anymore. So it's just kind of, and to make sure things go right, because the scene of them on which was a really cool infrared scene with them on like a bed, and my actress Slavina Veric, really great actress, and that was supposed to be a scene to be shot in 1 hour, ended up taking 9 hours. And now the rest of the day we didn't shoot what we were supposed to. Now we have to hustle tomorrow. So it's time, it's management and staying relaxed. Because if I'm stressed, the actors are stressed, and it's no good. A couple of times I was a little bit aggressive with them, maybe like gone a little Hitler or whatever. Which later say, look, I'm stressed out. I'm sorry, because when they feel you being aggressive and not well, that's gonna reflect. They're gonna forget their lines. They don't know what's happening anymore. So it's keeping your emotions under control. Well, absolutely. Everything from budgeting to talking. You got to send a lot of professional emails out there. You got to talk to people. You got to secure funding. All these things are really, even like my prior like financial consulting experience. It helps you manage a team. At the end of the day, you're managing a team, and you got to make sure that people feel like they're being taken care of. So absolutely helps.
One good point is the leadership that we got from Zishem. I mean, you remember the humble inquiry.
With Professor Dan Eden, that was a really great.
Gives you motivation
really class,
to go talk with people, things you don't know, and you somehow get this knowledge in a very simple way. So the way we communicate with them, the way we lead the team, the way we create the project, I think it's all a result from years of study and knowing how to lead, how to do projects.
I shot a comedy over the summer, which was, if you've seen The Lobster, where it kind of had these two actors, Donat Zeko, Slavina Veric, fantastic actors. And we did a situation, let's put them on a date and let's have them behave autistically, not in a derogatory way, but like, certain people on the spectrum, or how you say it, they just have no filter. They say everything that's on their mind. So we had them talk super literary, super like highbrow, and they're acutely aware of all their problems, of all the things like their issues with commitment or whatever. They're completely aware of this. They're opening up to each other about it. They're completely aware that this relationship is going to be horrible, but they're just going ahead because of their mechanisms that are in them. So we did this, and I got great feedback on that. I think that's what Ado, after he saw that film, he says, we're doing this film. That was amazing. So now I want to do a sequel to that comedy this summer in Croatia. That's also something I'm going to have to fund, so this crowdfunding helps out. But that one, every project you learn something. There, I wanted complete artistic control, so I was my own director of photography. I did camera. I had another guy do sound, and I wasn't letting anybody be creative. I was like, no, I want it like this. I want it like this. You do that. And at the end of the day, it wasn't as good as it could have been, because film is a collaborative thing. Like, I'm not going to do it great. We are going to make it great, because you're going to do something creative. And then it's going to be something completely different than what we wrote down. So then after that project, I said, next project I'm doing, I'm releasing control. Like, you be creative, you do you, and let's try to bring this together. Because things happen, you're super stressed, you're running around, where the sun is setting, you need the sun for lighting. Then the best take, where the actors did the best, I forgot to hit record. And now you're like you're an idiot now, like, let's not do this ever again. That's I think what you can see if you check out my comedy. Then this one, how much of a jump in quality is because I had people that knew what they were doing and that I could believe in. And that's something I think.
Basically, you let the other people who do those things best be smarter than you.
Exactly. You have to humble yourself, and that's I think something that a lot of us have a problem with. I wrote 5 scripts, full length. We're trying to get them produced. I wrote a couple of horror films, another kind of drama, another a lot of script. I've just been writing a lot, because like my DP, my producer said, look, you're in this super high creativity phase. Write this down. This won't last forever. And then once you're like you hit a kind of period where you don't have all these ideas anymore, you'll be able to do what you already wrote. So I'm definitely going to try to continue this, because I really love doing it. And we're also working in financial consulting right now. So you have to pay the bills somehow. If someday this takes off and I can do only this, awesome. If not, I'm having a great time.
We'll keep working together. Every project he's doing, I'm also contributing somehow. Not all of them I'll be acting, but I'm in the, how to say, in the back office, trying to coordinate something, giving him some ideas. We had a plan to open this company, production company for movies, and the first thing we need to finance ourselves. So we'll continue working in consulting. We'll continue with our other entrepreneurial projects, and then finance what we got from this to our movies and
Yeah.
production. So that's our idea.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, you don't want to be making short films. I think whoever
No.
says that, they're lying. Like, you're doing short films because you don't have the budget to do a feature. So you're just doing this as a practice run, which is great. It's fine. I've seen many great short films, but at the end of the day, I'd like to do a feature length film in the near future. So that's something my producers in Italy are trying to make happen, trying to realize. And right now, I'm flying back to Rome. I have to finish post production. So we'll see what happens after this. But like I said, it's too bad we only had that kind of budget for the 15-minute, and Marin had a bigger role. But like I was just said, we just stuck with the role of the girl alone in Rome, trying to get better, struggling with psychosis, doing a bunch of crazy things, really unhealthy lifestyle. That she reaches out to this priest, only guy that can that she can turn to. And everybody decided in the team, saying, that has the most emotion. Let's stick with that one. And that role was specifically, I wrote that role for Slavena that I worked with before. So it just it made sense, because I think the story of the gangster trying to get better, I think that's been done before. It's been seen. I think you always have to try to do like a movie that only you could do. Maybe some personal experiences with some struggling with some periods in your life where you're trying to get better. And let's tell that story. So that's why we chose that. And it's too bad, because the reason I chose Marin for that project is we were having coffee in a nice neighborhood in Rome, and I'm like, you act? Like, he says you act, but I've never seen it. He says, yeah. And then I said, well, I'm like, show me. And he just gets in character and starts crying right away. I'm like, holy shit, this guy. let's work with this guy. Like, I had no idea. I think that every year you get older, you have more responsibilities, and 2 years ago you thought you had no time, and then 2 years later you're like, oh man, I had so much time back then. So I think we always have more time than we think, and it's time management. I mean, like what I was doing, sometimes I'd write 1 page or 2 pages a day. You think it's nothing, but after 30 days you got 60 pages. So it doesn't take a lot of time to do something. I think these baby steps are important. I think I think a lot of things, if you have a business education kind of background, you're good. You can negotiate better. You have to negotiate everywhere. So I think you'll be able to sell your idea better. I don't know what you think.
I think we have to find what we want to do in life. Really, we have to meditate on that and ask 7 times questions about it. Why you want to do this? And if the answers are convincible, so you just combine. You use all the skills you got from school: leadership, communication, team working, and you combine, and you'll be successful because you're doing something you want.